Thank you, Mr. Donald, and hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And to the Year 10s, I'm Connor, and I graduated last year. You all look very at home already, and indeed a little more so than I did starting my QACI journey, as you can probably see. So, yeah, beautiful. So that first day of Year 10, amid all the awkward eye contact and anxiety, maybe like me, you thought, at this school, I'm going to find who I am. But it took me 3 years to realise that I was totally wrong. About to enter our graduation ceremony, I was scrolling through Facebook to quell my adrenaline, and I saw one of those photos with the big inspirational quote and the beach background and whatever. But this was a George Bernard Shaw quote worth reading. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. So as graduation unfolded, as my cohort's journey was celebrated, I realised that Shaw was spot on. If this school taught me one thing, it's to create my best self, and in that journey, QACI is but the first phase. So I'm going to chat with you about 3 ways I think you can start that journey here: building your artistry, your motivation, and your positivity. So the dramatist Anton Chekhov said, the role of the artist is to ask questions, not to answer them. And QACI empowers everyone to cultivate an artistry, which means a curiosity about the world. Let's not forget the IB learner profile, yes, that old chestnut, mentions becoming an inquirer. I found most joy here flexing my creative muscles. Flexing any physical ones wasn't really possible, so. Theatre festivals, acting troupes, choirs, creative ensembles. In and out of the classroom, I sought as many opportunities as I could, especially the collaborative ones. I found that what I learnt in class, I could apply externally and vice versa, making my arts education rewarding and rounded. But most importantly, that symbiotic relationship between creating art and learning expanded my curiosity. It builds in you a desire to challenge norms, to understand human behaviour. Equipped with wonderful facilities, autonomy and industry professionals for teachers, we owe it to this community to develop an artistry that actively interrogates our world. And this won't just benefit those you share your art with. Oscar Wilde rightly said that art is our most intense version of individualism. You'll more readily find beauty and inspiration everywhere. Our world, rife with violence, injustice and superficiality, is hungry for people like that. And soon you'll want to jump into the other arts puddle. Music and film students, if you need inspiration for something, go to Goma. Visual art and theatre kids, listen to a Mozart concerto. You'll grow to see the world as your stimulus, and to me, that's the definition of freedom, creative or otherwise. So art matters for the world and for individuals. Throw yourself into creative opportunities. That's why you've come here. Cultivate your artistry and you'll create yourself as an active, inquiring member of today's world. Sorry, I apologise for my hair. I keep flicking it to the side. Now onto the juicy stuff, the IB, aka intense burden, infectious bronchitis, and as some intake calls it, the international laka. Your IB experience is steered by you. You have your backseat drivers and your GPS in the form of your teachers, your friends, parents, but you steer. There's a concept in psychology called intrinsic motivation, which is the drive to do something purely for internal rewards. Personal development, new knowledge, conquering challenges. Nothing's more satisfying than achieving on your terms, shattering your expectations, making discoveries for you. I think intrinsic motivation is essential to creating your best you. If someone sets the rewards, you're playing by their rules. If your parents say, all right, we'll give you $50 for every 6 you get and $100 for every 7, I beg you to ask them to put away their wallets and say, no, I'll take it from here, no matter how much you want Splendid tickets. Only in Year 12 did I start vowing each day that I'd excel for myself, and soon it became instinctual, and the IB became fun. I found joy in each subject, even maths, even SL maths. You lose the anxiety simmering under every minute of procrastination. You do things when you get them. You're busy, but you love it because you're free to find out something in each subject that really toasts your bagel. You'll also want to delve further into your subject's real-world connections. In the true QACI sense, you'll become global. In ESS, I became fascinated with the issue of biodiversity loss, and my friends and I would constantly update ourselves and debate on the latest movements in that area because we wanted to broaden our knowledge. I'm still passionate about that issue, and I hope to explore it further. Intrinsic motivation enhances not only your work ethic, it makes you more world-weary. Learning becomes not a duty, but an exciting privilege. So create yourself as an intrinsically driven individual and in all your endeavours, your art, your social life, TAS, subjects, then you'll truly steer your learning. And last of all, there's something I wish I had more of at QACI: positivity. I trust that some of you have seen the movie The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the one with Emma Stone. If you haven't, don't worry, it's an atrocious movie, don't bother seeing it. But at the end, Emma Stone's character is discussing a concept that I find really brilliant, so I'm going to discuss it here today. Spoiler alert, by the way. So Spider-Man is sitting on his bed and his girlfriend has died. He's very depressed. And he looks at his computer, which is actually playing Emma Stone's character's valedictory speech. And she says, oh, there'll be dark times ahead, but I want you to promise me never to let go of hope. And my hope for you is that you become hope and positivity and optimism. And then Spider-Man gets all inspired and goes out and saves Fifth Avenue or whatever. So, let's be honest, QACI is gosh darn hard to be in. These 7 levels can be a pressure cooker that brings out the worst in people. In Year 10, I often found myself complaining about my workload when I chose to be here, or bad-mouthing others' actions without doing anything diplomatic about them. You're so bound to your community every day that it will cause some friction at some point. But to reduce that, the almighty Emma Stone says embody positivity, hope, optimism, and I couldn't agree with her more. Year 11 and 12, I'm sure you remember Bonnie, a student director. I admired her most out of any student here because of her inexorable positivity. Whether it was a smile in the hall or leading war cries at Aquafest, she uniquely embodied positivity through both subtle and large gestures. Become beacons of positivity like she was. Positivity breeds positivity, which in turn creates compassion, togetherness, and determination. But that's just one side of the coin. I think positivity alone is dangerous. You can get sucked into thinking, oh, she'll be right. She won't be right. She won't. Positivity alone is useless. It only works with the determination and the knowledge of how to see things for what they are and how to progress after failure. Don't build your positivity as a solution to all your problems, but as something that motivates you to solve your problems yourself. So I think the sooner you commit to building your artistry, your motivation and your positivity, the sooner you'll start creating your best self. Someone curious about the world, who succeeds on their own terms, motivated by optimism. I think that's a great person to become. If I regret one thing about my time at QACI, it's that I underestimated how privileged we are here. QACI furnishes growth, discovery and excellence like nowhere else. So I'd just like to quickly thank some people, Mr. Donald and Mr. Jost for nurturing QACI's culture, to each of my teachers, Mr. Gary, Mrs. Alderson, Dr. Norton, bless her soul, Miss Lapham, Mr. McMahon, Madame Cutmore, Tate, Matthias, Miss Kelman and Miss Freeman, and every other staff member. Thank you for your guidance and passion, because it's this school's foundation. Thank you to my family and friends. I can't be me without you. And lastly, to the student body. I thank you for inspiring me every single day. Here I was empowered to start creating my best self, and though QACI is just 3 years, that journey never ends. So thank you for having me today, and I wish you a safe and prosperous 2015.